Hey, hi, my name is Rachel. This is my mom. Maybe let's travel the world together. Bye. You ready? Yeah. Serious face on it. So it is currently 5 a.m. and we are busy driving to Mount Errigal to do a sunrise hike. Though the sky's brightening, but hopefully the sun won't be rising as we're hiking up. We didn't get up quite early enough that we'll be hiking in the pitch dark, which is both a benefit and means that we won't get the sunrise like at the top of the mountain. But I still think it's going to be a really cool hike, but it's still very, very early and we're driving dark, twisty roads to get there, so fun times. It's day 11 of our road trip and we're heading back out along the Wild Atlantic Way. Today we'll be climbing Mount Errigal. We'll also be exploring the Bloody Foreland and Horns Head Peninsulas and visiting Glen Veigh National Park before ending the day across the border in the northern island town of Derry. We are crazy.
I can hear you say, let the sun shine on the broken, let the summer come again.
So we're taking a little bit of a breather on our way up Errigal. So you definitely need stops. It's 1,600 feet elevation gain over 2.4 miles, I believe. And compared to Angel's Landing, which is a pretty notorious hike in the US, you gain 1,600 feet and over 3.4 miles. So it's considerably steeper grade, but I mean, look at the views. 100% worth it, 100% worth it.
Seen them rest upon a hill beneath a crown.
Well, there's our sunrise. It's like a hopeful little peek through the clouds.
I can hear you say, let the sun shine on the broken, let the summer come again, let the heat find all the frozen, let the forces.
This is the view. We are in a cloud.
Oh, let the sun shine on the broken, let the summer come again, let the heat find all the frozen, let the forces.
Fun is the word. I would use. My legs are like jelly and shaking.
And we're not even like, we're like halfway down.
We're halfway down.
Above, I feel above, I feel above, I feel above, oh, I feel above.
So we just finished climbing Mount Errigal. It was a pretty hard climb, but I think it was worth it. The views were just gorgeous before we went into the fog. Once we went into the fog, we couldn't see much of anything, and it was really windy at the top. In fact, we had to stop just shy of the summit because the winds were getting quite dangerous. But all in all, it was a pretty incredible hike. 2 hours, and All Trail says it'll take 2 hours and 40 minutes. We did it in 2.
I burned out like a wandering ember. I shone bright, then my journey was over. What I sought when I ran was back where I...
So we just finished hiking up to a viewpoint above Glenveigh Castle, which I must say, after our hike this morning, was quite a feat, despite the fact that it was pretty short. So Glenveigh Castle was built and owned by a guy named Derry, and he wasn't a very nice dude. He built this castle, and he had tenants on the land. And then in the 1850s, when the potato famine struck, he refused to give them wages on their rent, and so a lot of people either died or had to immigrate because they could not afford to pay their rent, and they had to leave their homes. So it's a beautiful castle, not so beautiful history, but that's a lot of Ireland. So.
All that I knew for a price. In the end, what I found was nowhere near as nice. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light.
The eastern portion of Northern Ireland is more Protestant English, while the south and west has traditionally been more Catholic Indigenous Irish. This has been the root of a conflict that dates back almost 400 years to when England planted settlers in an effort to assimilate the Catholic Irish into Protestant Great Britain. Their might is right attitude and ongoing anti-Catholic discrimination finally led to the Troubles, a brutal conflict that lasted nearly 30 years and only ended in 1998 with the Good Friday.
No matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate, don't turn off the light. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Nothing's as it seems in the photo.
Drive the same roads every day. We both get there our own way. Thistle and an apple tree. How different two souls can be. But we both grow from the same.
So we are currently in Derry, Londonderry, at the Bloody Sunday Memorial, and it's a tragic story. There's a lot of loss and a lot of confusion involved. The victims weren't considered victims for a long time. It was only until 2010 that they were officially cleared of any wrongdoing, and that at least some of the blame was laid on the British Army. But it's very clear as we walk the streets, we see murals. It's very clear that the feeling of loss is still fresh in a lot of people's hearts in this area.
Rendering of stubbornness.
When the 26 counties in the south voted for independence, the 6 predominantly Protestant English counties in the north voted to remain a part of Great Britain. When Ireland was being divided up, the River Foyle was the logical border. But for economic reasons, the north kept Derry, which is otherwise on the Republic side of the river. In 2011, a pedestrian bridge called the Peace Bridge was built across the river to symbolize the end of hostilities.
In the wind, same old roots, but I can bend. Learning to understand and sway together. Nothing worth having comes easy, baby. Nothing worth having comes easy, baby.